gonna break. It's gonna break. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Hi, I'm Katie. Katie Vokurka. And I'm gonna answer your question right now. If you've met a Vokurka, yes, I'm related to them. Directly related. They either came out of me or came out of the same hole as me. Like, it's one of the two. And whenever I would be in Newfoundland, because we were first generation Newfoundlanders, my last name is not a Newfoundland name. So people are like, oh, where are you from? I'm from Newfoundland. I'm with the Bonavista Vokurkas. And I like to think of myself as a person with social conscience. You know, I like to be a good Samaritan. When the wind is blowing someone's grocery bag away, I'll go catch it for them so that it doesn't litter. Things like that. I like to be nice. But, so whenever I go for a walk, I take a bag with me. So that if I see any garbage or usually recycling, I would much prefer to have money. If I see recycling on the ground, I can pick it up. And those tiny little liquor bottles, I live in paradise. Tiny little liquor bottles everywhere. I can't go for a walk without coming home with a few dollars in my pocket. So I've got these, it's always a see-through bag because we don't have bags anymore, so it's bread bags. That's what I reuse. I'm reusing a bag. I'm not buying a bag to put garbage in. This is not what I do. I reuse my bread bags. They're see-through. So I'm walking down the street with my big old bag of recycling that I picked up. And I'm also a bird watcher. So I've got binoculars. And you don't have them in the jacket hidden. You need to have them out. So if you see a bird, you only have precious seconds to see it. So you gotta be ready. So I got my binoculars out, walking around with my bag of liquor bottles, and I think, you know, I'm a good citizen. I'm a Samaritan. But what my neighbors see walking down the streets, usually in the middle of the street, because I'm chasing something, is this weird woman with a whole bunch of empty liquor bottles and binoculars. What is she doing? So I have a better idea of what I think I look like than what most people think I look like. And in fact, I'm very into different things. I'm the kind of person who, when you don't wear makeup, I think that's the sexiest thing. Unless you're a guy. If you're a guy and you're wearing makeup, that's also kind of really sexy to me. My boyfriend wears dresses in drag. We met at a drag show. And there's always this silence in the room. We're like, hold on, you're a heterosexual woman and you're going out with it. But I'm not heterosexual, first off. I'm bisexual. And I'm polyamorous. So I like men, I like women, and I don't necessarily like to stop at one. My child is in school now. Setting up play dates is terrifying to me because I try to just reach out to the mothers. Because I appear heteronormative. Like, you don't look at me and think, oh, she's bisexual. Right? Like, you know, I blend in. So I'll usually message the moms because it's much easier to deal with the moms. But if they say, like, oh, you know, the father will be able to pick you up, I do not ever say, and what's his number? So that's just what you want, to be the polyamorous parent who's now asking for people's numbers. Like, no, thank you. Because I don't hoop rate, which means I don't date people who are in any way related to my work or my child, things like that. But unless you get on stage and tell people all that stuff, you don't have all that backstory. So suddenly, I'm the lady who's like, what's your partner's number? I want to set up a play. So, it's a minefield. You gotta be very careful. Let's see, I told you where I'm from. Talked about binoculars. I usually have a book right here that I can pull out when I've run out of ideas, and I forgot to bring it with me. So let's talk about, the sexiest thing. Okay, sexiest thing my boyfriend can do, besides wearing makeup or a dress, because that's not really great for me. But he cooks. And he makes soup. And one of the things he'll do, right, he'll go into the fridge, and he'll use up vegetables for the soup. Like, oh, I used up, like, we had some potatoes, so I finished the bag of potatoes, and there were some carrots. I had to cut some bad stuff off. Everything, I'm like, tell me more. Tell me something else you used. Oh, you used pasta. Oh. And before I left to come here, I'm going to a restaurant. My partner's at home with my sick child. And it does mean that I don't have to put him to bed tonight. But, so my partner's home, and the first thing he sends me when I left the house was a text where they had ordered pizza without me. Oh, but then he said, don't worry, I used points. Oh, someone's gonna lay tonight. And whenever we make soup, we always buy pre-cooked chickens. Because every time we buy raw chickens, we end up throwing away a rotten chicken. But if we buy it pre-cooked, we'll eat it. It's just something about how our ADHD house works. We won't cook the chicken, but I love making a sandwich from a chicken carcass. Just get that big knife. Oh, you cut a big slice of meat off. It's so satisfying. And so on that, thank you for your time, Casey. Give it up for Katie, everyone! I'm sure it's fun.